YouTube channel, and for those that don't know me, my name is Kim, and I used to be a former blogger with a written-only blog, and I decided to close that blog down about 3 years ago when I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. So I've now made the decision to make the transition from a written blog only to the wonderful world of YouTube. I think it's going to be a bigger platform for me to reach people in a more personal way, to actually speak to my friends and new followers, and hopefully be able to help people. So this is all still pretty new and unnatural to me, so please bear with me through this whole process. So my aim with this YouTube channel is to build on what my written blog was about, which was a lifestyle blog, and it was very much focused on cooking, on makeup, on fashion, on fitness, things like that. And I hope now with my experience in Lyme disease and my story that I can build, an extra part in that as well, and be able to offer tips and tricks to people who are in a similar position as I was. So for the people who do know me, my friends and family, I took everybody's comments on board that said that you all missed my blog so much, and I hope you will all continue to support me through this new platform. And it also gives me an opportunity to explain where I've been for the last couple of years. I know I disappeared a little bit off the face of the earth, and I didn't provide a very clear explanation on what happened. So I think this is also a good method to explain what has happened and what has been going on in my life. So I will keep this as brief as possible, and I will go into details about my actual Lyme journey in a different video, which will be completely focused only on Lyme disease. So I was diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease in October 2015, and that was after about 9 years of being misdiagnosed with a different illness. At the age of about 15 or so, I was diagnosed with having carpal tunnel syndrome in both wrists and tarsal tunnel syndrome in both ankles, which is something that is very unusual and very unlikely to have in somebody my age. And I was actually recently told that it was pretty much impossible to have it in both wrists and both ankles. So the doctors told me that they didn't want to operate me, which is a very simple surgery. And they said, you might actually grow out of the disease after your teenage years, so they would have a look then and decide then what they were going to do with me. So it got to the point that I was in so much pain, and I was walking around with metal braces on my wrists, and I was walking with crutches because I couldn't walk properly anymore, and I couldn't use my hands anymore. And I'm sure some of my friends will still remember what I looked like at that stage. So after I graduated high school here in Spain, I moved to London to study psychology, and I actually had a few quite reasonable years, and I did quite well until my final year of my bachelor, and things started going downhill very, very rapidly. So I was in such unbearable pain at that point, but the course was so important to me, and it's something that I really, really loved and meant so much to me. So I said, I'm going to give this course everything that I have. I'm going to give this final year my everything, even if it kills me. And I really did. I gave it everything I had, and I graduated, and I did pretty well. But after that, that summer 2015, I completely crashed. So I told my parents at that point, I'm so fed up with being in pain, and it's just becoming unbearable. I can't deal with this anymore. That I want to schedule the surgery, and I want to schedule the surgery this summer. I just want to get it over and done with and get my life back. So I went to the doctors and to the hospital, and I had all of the tests redone. And they said to me, you don't have carpal tunnel syndrome. I don't know what you have, but it's not carpal tunnel syndrome, and we can't help you. So at that point I was sitting and thinking, have I now really been in pain for over 9 years? for no reason, because that's how it felt. So I had a few more tests done, and we really weren't any wiser. I was sent to a rheumatologist and a neurologist and things like that, and nobody had any idea what to do with me. At this point I actually said to my mom, if I go back in September to London and start my master's degree, I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of the year, because I know something's wrong with me. And it's not just the pain in my hands and my feet, there's something seriously wrong with me. So, all of the tests that we've been doing, we didn't have any results, and nobody had any idea of where to send me, which doctor to send me to. So she said to me, go back to university, try your best, and if worst comes to worst, we'll deal with it then. So I did, and I went back to London early September, and by October I was hospitalized in Spain, because at that point I was unable to take care of myself. I was unable to cut my food, I couldn't brush my hair, I couldn't put the toothpaste on my toothbrush. I had my sister help me with practically everything, and I was having some really severe and scary cognitive problems. So I knew I'm in big trouble. That October I flew back to Spain, because I knew that if I don't do something now, I'm going to be dead by the end of the year. So I flew back to Spain, and we started doing literally every single test under the sun that we could think of, until a German neurologist actually said to me, have you ever tested for Lyme disease? Which I hadn't. So we did the test, and it lit up like a Christmas tree. So through friend connections, I actually got into contact with my Lyme specialist, who's in Amsterdam. And by the 1st of February 2016, I started my life-changing Lyme treatment. So I did 20 weeks of IV antibiotics with daily pills as well. And it was the hardest 5 months of my life. And the months afterwards were maybe even harder, the whole recovery process. But when I finished in July, I had to start thinking about what I want from the future. Do I want to go back to London and study, or do I want to stay in Spain and work, or what do I want to do? Even though I'm still in recovery, what am I going to do with my life? The choice between London and Spain was actually made pretty quickly, because I realized that I wasn't in any pain when I was in Spain. The climate agrees with me, and when I actually went to London that summer for a week, all of the pain had come back. So I made my mind up pretty quickly that I need to stay in Spain for the moment and recover, and I have to build a life here. So we were thinking, about business ideas and career opportunities of what I could do, and we actually started saying this joke of, why don't you start a Lyme clinic? And that joke suddenly started becoming a reality when we realized, okay, there's nobody offering what I think we could offer, and especially not from a patient perspective. So it started becoming a reality, and especially when I started contacting my treating team and I asked them, would you be interested in helping me with this project, and would you be interested in working with me? And they all said yes, and they were all really supportive, and they thought it was a great idea. So we went ahead with it. So by September I had officially signed the documents for the clinic. And to put it into perspective, 2 months after life-changing Lyme treatment, I now had a clinic in my name, and we could start the whole process of applying for licenses. So 1 year later, we actually officially opened the doors to the Marbella Lyme Clinic, and it's been one hell of a journey ever since. So I'm really happy to be able to help people that are in a similar position as I was, and help them from a patient perspective, not just a business perspective. But I think we are able to offer things that other clinics might not think of, because I've been through it personally, and it allows me to be really personally involved with all of the patients that we see. So we've been open now almost a year, and it's been really exciting, and I've had the chance to meet some incredible people, and we've had the opportunity to treat a lot of people already and make a difference in their life. So step by step I'm working to get my life back and build my life back up from what it used to be. So I hope you will all support me in that. It would mean the absolute world to me. So I look forward to all of the videos and ideas that I have for the future. I have a lot of things in my mind already that I just need to do, but I was pretty nervous about actually starting this. But yeah, thank you all for watching and bearing with me through the last few years. It's been very difficult, and I know I've kept a lot of people in the dark about a lot of things. So I hope I can provide a little bit of explanation about things that have been going on, and I hope you will all continue to support me through it. So thank you for watching, and if you want to see more videos, don't forget to subscribe and hit the red button below and keep up to date with all of my new videos.